one of the things I'm going to draw for before I get into anything, match one is two of the greatest superstars I have ever followed in wrestling, right? Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Now, if you want me to believe that this is being legitimized as a title, I know they say first match or closing match is the matches that count. Really, you should have given that person their shining moment as the last match of the night. Show that this is the title that it's all about, you know? I was a bit disappointed in WWE by putting it as a first match. I was like, to give, well, you've probably seen the show, guys, if you're watching this, to give Roman the last spot still meant, even though his title's not on the line at night.
Okay. So is it internet's gone, I think? I don't know if it keeps going out, or is it just me?
Did you hear me perfectly there, Leon, or did I cut out?
You cut out at the end there.
Oh, right. Typical. Right. I was saying, apologies, I've got some editing to do. I was saying that by having Roman, even though his title's not on the line, him fighting for a title as the main event still meant that he is more important than the crowning of a new champ in a show called Night of Champions. I get he's the big dog. He is the one to be acknowledged. But let's make that title look like it's of equal weight by giving it the main event status.
What has everyone been saying about the title? What is the title?
I call it the bitch belt.
I call it the thing is, it's the we can't beat him, so let's join him type of belt. I don't know. Seth is going to legitimize the belt. But right now, think about the Universal title. When they first brought it out, we're like, what the hell is this stupid Universal? Because remember, they went from World to Universe. This is stupid. And after a while, I was like, man, no, Universal title, yeah. So
yeah, having a title for the show, how can I say this? Having a title for the show is not a problem. But having a man be a champ to both shows and it's who can beat him. I know we had that moment before. I think I'll go further back than the Universal title moment. Let's go back to when Brock had both titles and they were like, right, he's only staying on one show. Now what do we do? Now it's scary. Do you get what I'm saying? But it was like, he's gone to one show. He signed exclusive. They've done different ways, but it was like, how are we going to split the belts? How are we going to split the belts? The guy still walks out with two belts. And then it's like, actually, just ignore a belt. Like, no, it's weird.
What would have made this even easier is I don't know why they don't look. I mean, they're always jamming this get the network, and only $9.99 for the WWE network. Well, had they looked into that same network themselves, there was a time many years ago where there were two belts. The one that Jericho held, the one that Triple H held when he beat Jericho at WrestleMania 18. And what did they do? They brought it into one belt. And if you look at the wrestlers that held that undisputed title, it was a great time in WWE, from Undertaker to Triple H. You could even throw Hogan in there. Eddie Guerrero, which was obviously memorable. Brock Lesnar, The Rock. That belt it was a great time in WWE. Now they're saying that the World Heavyweight Championship is being continued from when they retired it. So if that is the case, then yes, I agree with AJ. It should have been the main event. Because you can still get the same reactions out of everything that happened by putting the tag team titles first, and then doing the World Heavyweight title at the end. Whatever the matches are in between, it gives people time to get over that and focus on the World Heavyweight title. So
there's one thing though.
You're definitely right there.
There's one thing though. Saying what before about Roman Reigns end of the night though. Who's the biggest star in WWE right now? Roman.
Biggest star, but he's the biggest star. I get that. He's got the biggest storyline in wrestling. That I agree. It's the biggest storyline in wrestling. Title for title, we needed to show that this belt is just as important.
No one cares
about I tell you what, though, when they put those two belts together, they were saying at that time that Brock Lesnar was the next big thing. He went on to beat The Rock for that title. So you could still make someone look great with just that one title,
The only way they could do that. Also, I'm sorry, Karen.
It also proves that we were right all along, that the World Heavyweight Championship should have stayed. The Universal title don't get it. I think it's time to retire that title now. If anything, it puts more prestige on the actual WWE title, and then you have the World Heavyweight Championships, 2 legitimate championships that could possibly make WWE great again.
You see, here's the thing that I call as a prediction. You're a brave man being a black man quoting Trump, but
Sorry,
okay,
I tried
making WWE like be the one again.
Just taking it again.
Let me tell you that.
But you know what? You both said it right. You both got it right. Like the past when they did they've got the unit. They're gonna join the belt together, and it's now gonna call the undisputed title. Instead of having 2 belts, you can have 1 title, and then having one wrestler saying, "I will not compete on Raw anymore." Hence the reason why they had to bring a new title in. That's why they could have just went. The brand split is happening. The networks want to split it. Let's split. Roman's now on Raw. We need a belt. Oh, was he on SmackDown? He's on SmackDown. We need a belt for Raw. And that would be the exact same catalyst. But that's not how it was introduced. It was introduced as like, we can't beat Roman and he won't wrestle every night. So we're going to bring a new belt in there. Triple H said it something like that, and kind of just pretty much instantly that became the second-rate belt.
Yeah.
Instantly, because of how it was introduced.
It looks cool seeing someone with 2 belts. I mean, when Jericho had the WWE and the WCW at the time title, it looked great. Roman has 2 belts that look exactly the same, although one's black and the other one's blue. Yeah, the blue one being the Universal title, the black one being the WWE title. I don't know. It just needs to become 1 title now. It was great when 2 different titles come together, because it kind of shows like that belt. We all know where that belt came from. We know the prestigiousness of the WWE title. So to see someone with both of them kind of gives it that authentication of a unified title. Whereas you have 2 belts that look exactly the same, and we know what they are, but you know, come on, we wasn't born out of our mother this time.
Hey, you never know. This could be some big.
Sorry to cut you there.
You've been losing them one at a time?
No, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? I reckon, I think I called it on the last show, and I'll call it again with you two. I reckon he retires the Universal title. He says, I've done it. I've done everything I need to. I'm 1,000 days and plus undefeated. And I plan to use my WWE reign to create another 1,000 days. And that's the challenge now. Can Roman make it 1,000 days as WWE champ? Because he's done it as he'll use each reign independently. Universal title doesn't need to be the Universal title anymore. He will now prove that he is so big he can do 1,000 days as WWE champ. That reign is not as long as the Universal title reign.
Can I co-sign you on something on that one, AJ?
Go for it.
What you just said there is absolutely spot on, because last week they were saying that he's 37 days short of Pedro Morales' record. But the thing is Pedro Morales held the WWF title. It wasn't the Universal title. So technically, he's probably just about past Brock Lesnar on the WWE title. But the Universal title, your John Cena's, your Bruno Sammartino's, your Pedro Morales, your Bob Backlund's, your Hulk Hogan's, they never held that belt. So really and truly, what record are we really talking about here, and for what belt? They need to really make sense of that, because if they're trying to say that he's held the WWE title for that long, then that's actually a lie. And, you know, they need to actually make that right.
One thing, though, we started out talking about the title. We started talking about the match, and we slowly drift over to Roman Reigns.
That was just talking the title, but I was literally, you're right. It is what it is. But I was going to say, what an opener.